Okay. How's it, guys? Welcome to the first episode of
What therapy?
What therapy? We're recording from this beautiful place here called Joburg Style and Coffee. Thanks to Dorian for having us here. This place looks amazing. There's beautiful paintings around here. There's like a water feature down there. There's like a water feature down there. I'm just nervous. This is like our first episode, first podcast with one mic. With one mic. We'll try our best to just make sure this runs smoothly and cover a whole bunch of topics that have been spoken about in the CrossFit and fitness community. But we're going to try to cover just a whole bunch of conversations as we go along. But first, Liam. I'm here with Liam. Liam is, from what I know, is a CrossFit semi-final athlete, very good athlete. I've seen him on the comp floor for about, I think I've taken notice of him now for about 3 years, right, on the comp floor. He's been doing it for longer than 3 years, but like he came to my attention, I'd say 3 years ago. A very good athlete. It's hard not to notice Liam with his hair and everything else. But I'm here with Liam. We're both going to be co-hosting the podcast for the duration of whenever, however long this takes. So Liam, how are you feeling?
Hey guys, I'm excited for this. I think it's something quite important. I think a lot of people that I've spoken to, people are keen on doing a podcast, people want to get involved in things like this, and I think just the means of actually getting it going is a little bit difficult. I think it was a really awesome opportunity to start something like this. So like Bev introduced me, I'm Liam, been doing this for quite a few years. Only really gotten serious into it in the last couple of years or so, just so that Bev would notice me. So a little bit about myself. So I train out Pure Fitness in Edenvale side. Hi to all my Edenvale homies. I hope you guys managed to steal some data so you can watch this. The East. I train out in Pure Fitness. I am a Vivify You athlete, so train under Vivify You Ricky. A little bit of a taboo subject in the CrossFit community if you say you're a Vivify You athlete and you're falling on syringes over there in Pretoria. But no, I'm absolutely proud of it. Absolutely love it. I'm actually a full-time teacher, so that's my 9 to 5 teaching kids. English teacher, so I try and help Bev with his words, his sentence structure.
Vocab.
That's why I got asked to be on here. But and that's it. And I'm really excited. And I think a big thing for me with this podcast is going to be, everyone talks in the community, everyone wants to talk, and everyone has something to say, but no one actually ever says it. And I think it's important for us to highlight things because we have things like we have comps, we have athletes, we have events, all sorts of things going on in the community in South Africa. But they don't know how to get better because no one's actually telling them how to get better, because I think we have this culture in South Africa, especially in the CrossFit community, where something happens, we always run up to the organizer, you guys are doing such a good job and really cool, but then back home, but they did this wrong and they did this wrong, and I wasn't happy with this, and I think it's important that we actually voice our opinions and we give you guys also a platform to say, what you want to say, and let us be your voices, and to call it like it is, to call people out on their rubbish, where we see something's not making people happy, to talk about it, and if things are on the complete opposite and people are happy about things, things are going well, to celebrate them, to highlight them, and bring the community together with things like that too.
Yeah, that's like I'll say, it's a good point there, because before I talk about myself and go on and on and on, on the topics of competitions, I'm just going to ask you right off the bat right now. In this order, 1 to 5, best and the worst.
More than 5 comps.
More than 5 comps, but just give me your top 5, worst and best.
Comp-wise. Sure, I feel like we're going to butt hurt some people here. Based on recent experience, I'm going 5. I'm going the battle.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going there. I'm going to go Pretoria Throwdown.
Okay.
I'm going to go LMS. This is completely personal just because of the experience I had.
Yeah.
It's a close toss-up between first and second. But I'm going squad games and I'm going renegade games. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's close. I won't lie, it's close. But I think it's just the personal thing. I think that both those two comps in particular are just doing two completely separate things.
Yeah. So this is just based on your personal experience.
I guess I'm not allowed participating at the battle anymore.
Oh, no. No, you've got it. I'm going to go one step further on that. In terms of programming, right?
Okay.
Which competition do you think tastes athletes? I'm going to go from elite level athletes from like your RX division all the way down to like beginner. Okay, obviously excluding Rebel Renegade games.
Yeah. Okay, in terms of programming, all right, I'm going to throw squad games in there. I've always thought squad games, every division. The programming is always spot on. It's one of those comps where like no matter what, every time it's on, if it's duos, if it's trios, people hitting the floor after a workout, so you get the big lifts and stuff. So that's always fun. Pretoria Throwdown, also really tough workouts, hard workouts, especially in your RX division, and always heavy.
Yes.
You know, I think that's always the common consensus when guys are getting ready for Pretoria. It's get the weights ready, start playing around, throwing around big weights. So I think that is a feather in Pretoria Throwdown's cap.
Yeah, I think the 1 year, when was it? 2024, 23, Ruan Conradi did like a 152 clean and jerk or something like that.
That was
It's ridiculous.
It was actually the first year, I think you competed, it was out there by the boating centre.
Yes,
That's right, we were in the lane next to each other. And the whole time I just met Bev, I actually didn't know who he was. I was like, there's not a chance I'm letting this guy beat me at box jumps and deadlifts. Right, I don't care how short I am, I'm going to absolutely
Yeah. I actually have a clip of that workout.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, full clip. Listen, I think let me be honest. So I've done three Rumble and Randburg workouts. Yeah, I'd say in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Okay, everyone may differ with me if you want. I think they have the best programming.
Okay.
This is my opinion. I really enjoy the competition. I really enjoy what the guys there are doing. I think this year with the duo, I think they did a duo comp this past. Yes, I think that was a big competition for them.
Yeah.
Great venue, good programming. I really think next year Rumble and Randburg will be one of the best premier competitions out there. Trust me. Reason being is their programming is simple, stupid, right?
Yeah.
That's one, very easy to understand, very simple scoring opportunities, makes it easy for the judges, makes it easy for the athletes to understand.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy about Rumble, just programming. It's simple. On the other hand, I know Squad Games is a great comp, right?
Yes.
But I struggle with all the scoring, like there's like at least 2 or 3 scoring opportunities.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. So I think the more you have something like that, there can be so many discrepancies and so many, because I've been in the background and I've seen the issues that go on in the background because, oh no, this was wrong and this was wrong. Then now it's hard to capture like scores, for example, because there's just so much going on that sheet. I've also had to judge, like fill in judge, and I was just so confused on like the judge sheet.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So
I do agree. Like, listen, apologies to Nick and the guys at ATG about Rumble. Actually,
yeah.
If you about Rumble, listen, Rumble's also absolute blast of a comp. I agree. Even doing the duos, it was about a month or 2 back. Absolute blast, absolute blast of a comp. So, and I mean, I was there for the first Rumble when they had it there by ATG under the covering them in the school. Yeah. And I mean, what an absolute awesome comp even back then. So Nick, guys, I do apologize for that, but Rumble actually, you're spot on there. I think the variety of comps they have is spot on. Actually, you know what? I think that's why it's cool. It's going to be the 2 of us because like you're right. Like even this year at Squad Games, I did also. My team had issues with judging and things like that. And I mean, if anyone's going to have issues with things like judging, it's going to be Bev. Bev's the only person I know who goes to, who's sitting in third, appeals his score to get a better score and comes out fifth at the end of it. But no, I agree. And I think that's something that we forget about. And I've seen it with quite a few comps. As soon as it gets to like that final workout, or as soon as, like your Sundays and stuff, we try and overcomplicate the workouts.
Yeah, 100%.
And it gets way too complicated. I think that's something Rumble's done really well is he has 3 movements. You can watch it on the floor as it progresses, as the guys move on. And I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. It's watching all the workouts. It was so easy to see, okay, cool, Ruan and Todd ahead.
Yeah.
Behind them is XYZ.
Yes.
And it's just finish.
Why do we just assume Ruan and Todd ahead?
I'm just saying, like,
no, 100%.
this year, from what I've seen, right, at every comp, like from a visual perspective, watching the competition and watching the elite go at it, it's easy to see who's ahead.
Yeah.
As to compare to, I'd say, I'm not bashing like squad games or anything or any other comp, but it's just much easier. I think when programming, you need to factor in most of those things.
Yes.
Like, is it like visually? Like, like you also want to try and make CrossFit like entertaining. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Like I was watching Rogue this weekend. It's so easy to see who's ahead, who's just behind, and who's like all the way at the back.
Yeah.
Because the workouts are programmed like visually to be visually pleasing. Yeah. Right. That's just my like 2 cents.
No,
Like
I completely get it.
with all the guys programming for this comps, etc., etc. I mean, last man standing, same thing.
Yeah.
Like their workouts. I mean, I don't want to. Like.
Call it like it is.
Like.
Listen, I understand
It's
Monique,
just-
LMS and Monique, and the guys were under a lot of pressure because of the weather and things like that. And
100%.
personally, like as I was a spectator this year. And I mean, I've done my fair share of LMSs. I just think something like weather's one of the first things you cater for. It's something you have to be aware of.
Yes.
Things can turn at any time. And I get an outdoor venue, new venue, teething problems, things like that, 100%.
Yeah.
But there was some workouts where I'd be watching and you didn't know who was in front. You didn't know. You couldn't really tell what was happening or anything like that, and let's be honest, we are a sport. We tell people we are a sport. Like my mom and dad don't believe this is a sport, but it's a sport nonetheless. And I mean, in this country, we're absolutely crazy for sports. I mean, nothing brings us together like the box playing on a weekend and things like that. And I think a big aspect that I want to discuss also in this is that we need to feel open to criticizing these things, because I'll use rugby for an example. Springboks, take the beginning of the year, 2 dodgy games against Italy, not the best performances.
Yeah.
We lose to Australia the way we did, and everyone is on their case. Everyone's calling for Rusty's head. Everyone's saying drop this guy. So why should CrossFit be any different? If we have a bad comp or we have bad performances or things like that on the comp side, also call them out. And I think it's important. We can't hold our national teams up to that level. If we want to raise the level of CrossFit in this country, do the exact same thing. But again, I completely understand it. You need to highlight those important things, like we said with the rumble, things like that. So I agree with you. It needs to be visible. It needs to be visually appealing for a spectator. I went to LMS. I spectated, and there was like workouts where I had no idea what was happening. Besides actually going to people and saying, "What's the workout? What are you guys doing?" And people want like a lift. Like I'll take the lifting event for example in the individuals. When I read the workout first, the way it had first been programmed, the touch and go snatches, I think it was at 80 and 100.
Yes. Yeah.
I get it. There was this outreach and people complaining and people didn't like it. So what?
People didn't like I think the issue is the weight.
I get it completely, 100%. But you want to elevate the sport. Make it a challenge. Challenge yourself. So what if someone goes out there and they can snatch 80, they can't snatch 100. You go for your one. Maybe you PB on the day.
Okay.
There we go. I'm excited for this now.
Yeah. Listen. I get that.
Yeah.
Right. But in the same breath, right? I think in the same breath, it's good you want to elevate the sport, right? But in the same breath, you want to get more people.
Okay, 100%. But now
into the sport.
Correct.
So obviously, if I tell people, okay, cool, buy-in is like, I don't know, like what the workout was, for an example, like a 3 touch and go power squat snatches at 100.
Yeah.
How many people? How many male individuals can actually do that in this country?
Okay, no, 100.
There's like this much.
A select few. Okay,
so
but on the same token, on the same token, but they'll have workouts that those guys that can't do it are going to excel at.
Sure.
And then the bigger guys they can touch and go 100 are going to complain about.
But from a business stance,
Yeah.
you want to get more people in. If you can get more people in, that's growth. Right?
Yeah.
You don't just want to cater for like, I'm gonna use like Ruan a lot.
Yeah.
Like Ruan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
get
like,
it.
it's like, it's just, you're probably only going to get like 3 people in that field that are going to do that.
Okay.
Then the rest, like, I don't mind putting in like pirouettes and, you know, fucking like, you know, all this other stuff. But then how many people are actually doing that or training for that? You know what I mean?
I get
that's
it.
That's not gonna get people to sign up for that comp and go, okay, cool, I'm gonna sign up. And I think if you, this is just my opinion, you can do all these comps like Rumble, Squad Games, and everyone else. They can be like for the normal average Joe, right? But then if you want to elevate the sport, I think you need at least one more competition
Okay.
in the country for just elite.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. My question was going to be, okay, then when do you elevate people to elite?
Yeah, so the way I see it, right, this is just my opinion, right? You need like just an elite competition for just, let's say, I'd say elite males, elite females. Let's just go with top 30 and top 30 male, top 30 female. Then I think you can have like, I don't know, like a team.
But an elite team, sort of.
Yeah, but have elite team.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you've got lots of entries.
Yeah.
Right? You've got money from entries. Then you can also look at potential sponsors and partners to be like, okay, cool, this is what's happening. We trying to do X, Y, Z and yada, yada, yada. And you get a whole bunch of, you know, sponsors involved and stuff like that. Then, only then, I think you can only cater for the elite.
Okay.
Because now, in a normal CrossFit competition, you want to cater. It's hard to cater for the elites. Then you still have like intermediate, beginner, and yada yada yada. You need to factor in like injuries and, you know, it's like stimulus. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I really think you need another elite only competition like a Wadapalooza, but South African version with just elite level athletes. That's just my opinion. I think that's the only way you can elevate CrossFit in this country. Because then guaranteed, let's say like you look at the whole season, right? And you have like, let's say towards the end of the year, like right now, like November now, because there's no battle, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in November now, it's like off season, right? Maybe have that elite competition right about this time, getting those athletes ready for the big one, which is the Rebel Renegade Games.
I get that. Just remember, like November. Also, now we've got things like you've got your Wild Coast this coming weekend. Alphits. A lot of our elite guys are heading over to Egypt for Alphits. I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then here's my thing. Okay, and I 100% agree with you. I think Renegade Games is the only place where individual athletes really can go and showcase how elite they are.
Yeah, you've got one competition
Agree.
in the whole year.
Yeah.
Then the rest of the time, you got to do, no disrespect to all the other comps,
Yeah.
you've got to do like squad games and,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just, I do not think any of these competitions are elevating. You can disagree with me or agree with me. I do not think they are elevating
Okay.
the elite, because what happened with LMS, people always complain and go, but the weight's too much.
Yes.
But if it's just elite, it's
Yeah.
like,
Go deal with it.
go
you're-
deal with it.
Because you're proper,
You know what I mean?
and I'll be honest, this is how I feel about it. RX is not weight based. I've never believed a competition should be, I'm RX because I can snatch 100, I can clean and jerk 140, 150, whatever. It's not weight based. For me, it's always been skill based. And my issue's always been, and it's something, you know, a lot of people, I've had it personally, I've seen it in the community. You go onto the floor, you're an intermediate athlete, you know you're an intermediate athlete, you've just got your 5 butterfly pull-ups that you just learned how to do, and the guy in the lane next to you takes his shirt off, got a 12-pack on his back, jacked to the gills,
Like and he's
busting, listen, I'm not saying I've done intermediate comps, I've done beginner comps. I was heading to semis last year and I did LMS intermediate teams.
You ever done beginner comp?
I have done a beginner comp.
I've
Yeah.
actually never done beginner
I've done a big. No, I did a beginner. I did LMS beginners 1 year. My team got kicked out of the comp because I was in the team at Sun City. But that's what I say is we have these guys, and I'll say it because I've been there. But we have these guys who, I'm doing intermediates because I can't do X weight. Okay, but fine. But the guys can bust out, 10 unbroken muscle ups. They can do 100 unbroken double unders. He's a hell of a runner. And he's doing intermediates. But then how are we elevating those individuals around him? Because this guy should be an RX athlete. Because I'm a big believer it's skills based. Because your skills is going to get you further than being able to lift at big weights and stuff. A 1 rep max, for example. Okay. But then you're not elevating the guys around him and go, okay, but what's the point of me competing when dude over here is just going to be absolutely thrashing me every single time because he's not actually an RX. He's not an intermediate athlete. He's an RX athlete.
I hear you. I hear you. But still, like, you want to be elite in this country. I think you need, excuse me, like you need an elite only comp.
I agree.
And I know that's going to take money and like resources, etc., which is difficult. But yeah, I'm going to ask you a question right now. What do you think CrossFit, like, how can CrossFit Africa help CrossFit in this country?
Okay.
Because I personally don't think things are looking great for CrossFit in this country.
No, not at all. I mean, so listen, I've had a lot of people make fun of me. I'm the biggest, I was the biggest hater on High Rocks. I was like, it's not even a real sport and stuff like that. But High Rocks has done it phenomenally well because they highlight people and they highlight the individual. And I think CrossFit in this country is not doing enough to highlight the people that make it what it is. I think we're not doing enough to highlight the box owners.
Yeah. But who's that? Like, who's the, like, my question is, who's the, like...
let's stand on some terms.
Yeah, listen, my question is, who's that? Like, who's the person? Like, what's the page? You know how you can go to, like, Whataburger or CrossFit or CrossFit Games or whatever. You can see, you can hold them accountable. But I think the only thing I know about CrossFit Africa is that affiliate page, the CrossFit affiliate page. That's about it. Apart from that...
Okay, so I'm going to answer your question with a question. Do we have anyone out there who's doing that for Africa? We don't.
No, we don't.
And let's be honest, there's so much potential in this country, it's actually ridiculous. You go and look, like when South Africa decides to actually compete at a sport, when any athlete decides to have a real go, and I'll use rugby again as an example because, we're number one in the world for a reason.
100%, yeah.
Every little kid, no matter what their background is, where they're from, they see the Springboks on TV, they see a Sio Kolisi, they see an Ep1 and they want to be that. And because they've got the exposure and they've got these people putting them out there like that. And here in this CrossFit community, we walk around and let's be honest, CrossFitters walk around, they see someone from Virgin Active and they're like, oh, please, or you can bench press a little bit or you go and do your arm curls. I'm a better athlete. But are you really? Because who's there to actually promote these people? And I'm talking about not just the sport itself.
Yeah, that's exactly my question who is CrossFit? Exactly. Africa or South Africa? Like who do you hold accountable to not highlight and support the athletes? For an example, I don't know, like a Ruan or something.
See, I don't want to just throw it at the athletes because I think it's the athletes are a result of this, not highlighting athletes are a result of this. Who's highlighting our boxers? I know, listen, at one stage, and I've joked with you before, you go to Fourways, you go to Randburg side, you get lost, you land up in a gym. But they used to be all CrossFit gyms or somehow CrossFit or functional fitness affiliated, and now they're all closing. I know more boxes that have closed than I knew they were even open before.
Yeah, why are they closing?
Exactly.
What do you think they're closing?
Because I don't think there's the supporting more. I think there's this whole idea, especially in the States, and I've seen a few YouTube videos and Instagram posts that CrossFit's dying. And we need to ask ourselves, the question is, I get it, we're in Africa, we're not a first world country. This is an American thing. It's the Australians have taken to it, the Europeans have taken to it. And
can you see the sound?
it'll never be what it is overseas unless we make it. And it means getting the investments in. But who's highlighting the boxes? Who's highlighting the gyms? Who's getting people into those boxes and stuff like that? Why are CrossFit gyms now relying on High Rocks to make ends meet. That's what I'm saying. There's no one out there going, guys, this is a problem. People are now moving away from CrossFit, from our sport.
Who's to blame for them?
It's a good point. It's a good point. You know what? Let's call it like it is. I think all of us are a little bit to blame about it. Everyone, from the ground up. You know, you get these guys that, I mean, we've all seen it, guys who come into the box and they work their asses off. And, you know, it's this average guy who's got a 9 to 5 or something, he's working, and he goes to a comp. And no one ever highlights him. But then also, no one's ever speaking about his gym, for example. No one's ever highlighting the gym. And that coach that's in the gym, might not be the box owner, but maybe it's just the coach, who's working, you know, his ass off to try and get this guy to get his first pull-up, to get double unders, to get their first snatch, things like that. And again, I don't think CrossFit itself is doing enough to highlight that. Boys, like, you know, case in point, Renegade Games next year, let's invite 10 foreigners who can't crack it in their own regions, come have a go here. Oh, sorry, Africa doesn't go to the games again. Great. Well, then when we do have an African go to the games, they're standing there talking with an Australian accent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But I think part of this podcast for me is to actually help.
No, 100%.
That. You know what I mean? Hyrox is doing a great job. I mean, geez, bro, there's a gym where I coach. Yeah.
We have one in ours also.
30 people in a class. It's compared to our, like, 4 people in a class. But my main thing here is, like, when I started, well, let me not say we started this training times thing, was to kind of try fill that gap. Because no one was highlighting the athletes, there's no story, there's no backing. It sucks having to watch, like, all these great athletes do fundraisers.
Listen, as someone who's been in that position,
do you know what I mean?
It sucks having to ask.
And I'm like, okay, cool. This is CrossFit, right? This is people that have trained, worked hard. I know how hard this stuff is. I mean, I'm still, like, I'm not that good, but I know how hard it takes. I know the effort that it takes to make it to the games. My main issue is that CrossFit Africa, I think it's just the CrossFit page, they are not doing anything to help. In my opinion, you can agree, disagree with me, to help, to help the boxers to a point where that's satisfactory. I do not think they're equipping the coaches business-wise for the business to thrive.
Correct.
At the same time, not helping the athletes as well. You look at what Hyrox is doing. Hyrox is booming because Hyrox is involved with all these other boxes. They've got so many, like, partners and sponsors involved with them, right? And right now what's happening is they've got this gym tour.
Yeah.
And every single, my friend just affiliated with Hyrox now in the East Rand. And they're coming to him with Mini Cooper, you know, all the sponsors. And he just opened his gym, you know what I mean? In all the time I've been a coach, I haven't seen anything that CrossFit has done for the coaches, the community. You paying an affiliation fee, and you know you have to ask yourself, what are you getting from this affiliation?
So that was going to be my point. Is I've been around box owners, I've been around people who've been affiliated, people who haven't been affiliated. I'll talk personal experience, like Pure Fitness, for example. Don't affiliate because what do you actually get from it? There's nothing. I get to stick the name CrossFit on. What does the name CrossFit mean anymore? Because I can do CrossFit at home. I can go buy myself a rower. I can go to Rebel, get a few, dumbbells, get a barbell, and I can do it at home because the name doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Because CrossFit is not giving back 100%. To the people that are making it what it is. 100%. Where Hyrox is, and where other sorts of exercise programs or gyms, things like that, are figuring out that people just want to be seen. Yes. People just want to be seen. They want to be heard. And again, it might be your elite athlete. You have your class of, let's say, 20 people. You've got your one guy who's the absolute monster of the class, the guy who smashes every workout. he wants to be seen just as much as that guy who's his first, second time there. They both want to be highlighted because at the end of the day, that's what human beings are. And that's what Hyrox is doing so well. I mean, you have those like professional photograph packages.
Yes.
And I can go on and I can see everything I'm at. But if I go to a comp, and I tell you now, this is true with anybody who's ever done a comp in this country, those photos come out. You want photos of yourself. And if there's no photos, there's like a sense of disappointment. And it's weird, small little things like that. It just appeals to human nature. I want to just be seen. Like, I hurt myself every single day, 2-3 times a day in a gym. I'm sweating, I'm sacrificing, I'm trying to eat right. I'm not drinking, I'm trying to go to bed early, you know. I'm working towards a goal here.
Yes.
But then I go do a comp on the weekend and there's maybe one photo of me and it's a bad angle. I'm actually behind the guy that's actually in focus sort of thing. You know, sort of thing. And it sounds stupid, but that's what people want.
Yeah.
You go to a comp, people lose their minds for t-shirts. Because people want a souvenir. It's a sign of recognition that I was there, I did this thing. And then we have comps now where it's a case of, okay, here's the comp we're doing, but now you have to buy your t-shirt on top of it.
Yeah.
People are struggling to just, you know, eat at the end of the day, and I've got to buy a t-shirt. It's small little things that build it up slowly like that. I mean, when I started out, you did a comp, I've got a cupboard full of t-shirts, just different comps, t-shirts. Yeah. But it's something you hold on to because it's sentimental. I was there, I did.
That's part of the reason I also entered comps, actually. To get free t-shirts.
It sounds so stupid, but it's a real thing. And like, dude, I've got a cupboard full of pre-workouts and protein shakes and creatine and all sorts of things that are probably never going to get touched. But again, it's a recognition of I was there, I did this thing, and I think that's disappearing also.
Okay. How do you make CrossFit great again then?
How do you make CrossFit great again?
Yeah. This coffee is actually, it's flat white. It's actually good.
Really good. How do you create a love for the sport again? I think people need to be reminded of what they're able to achieve through it.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be accessible, and I get it, and I agree with you that having an elite comp for just the elite's cool because now you're giving people something to aspire to.
Yes,
you're giving something, but get people involved in their beginner comps. Get people involved in intermediate comps. You know, have something like you've got WOD Wars.
Yes.
And what Stretch and them are doing a fantastic job is that it's accessible to everyone across the board. Yeah. And you've got your most elite athletes doing the exact same workout as, you know, some Tanya and Uam who just started out a week ago and stuff. And they're doing the exact same, and that's fantastic. That builds that accessibility. And I mean, I spoke to Stretch at Renegade Games this year, and the amount of red tape that guy's had to go through just to put on his comp, you know. And I think there also has to be backing from higher ups. I mean, we are such a small community in terms of functional fitness, in terms of CrossFit here. There has to be some sort of time where eventually some sort of municipality or a government or something also backs us. And I listen, I know it's probably impossible. I'm, you know, shooting for the stars here.
I think it's possible. I think we can do it.
But I mean, like, chatting to Stretch and the amount of red tape that poor guy had to go through just to get WOD Wars on. That's why there wasn't a beach workout, and they had to literally fill the gym up with sand and stuff just to have that same vibe. That builds a love. People see that and they see that effort and stuff. Yes. But then you have comps where, it's drizzling a little bit. We're changing the entire workout. The entire stimulus of the workout's changing. Everyone's getting put off because guys are going, well, this isn't what I signed up for. I really want to do this, or I really want to do that. And then you got your like intermediate guy who's actually an RX guy licking his lips because he's going, all I have to do is handstand walk from here to there. Yeah. Where before I had to do this and I had to handstand, freestyle handstand push-ups, and I had to go around a plate. And it's, you know, it's different things like that. I think what we need to do is create a love for the sport again. I think people must want to compete again. I think people want to participate again and give them a reason to participate.
Free t-shirts.
Free t-shirts and all the pre-workouts.
I hear you. I think bringing back the love will, I completely agree with you. But going back to like what Hyrox is doing now, I think we also need some sort of like good ambassadors for the sport. 100%. You know, people that are vocal, people that have an opinion, people that have a personality, people that can get more people involved. That's it. You know what I mean? When I remember when I started this CrossFit thing, I wanted to get more black people involved. You know, I wanted to go to a comp and see more people like me involved. You know, I haven't done the best job at that because I'm very introverted. Yeah. But like I'm starting to see more and more people come into the gym, more and more people of color come into the gym. You know what I mean? Like where our gym is, like we're only reaching 5% of the people where we are, you know?
Yeah.
And part of that is that like there is no, they have no one to look up to.
Great.
Like no fitness figure,
Yeah.
you know? I think the goal is to have some sort of like I'll use Ruan again, you know, because it's like the closest person I know that's like up there. Someone like Ruan to be like an ambassador for the sport.
Yeah.
I think with
CrossFit, like a Rich
yeah, 100%.
Everyone knew who Rich Furry was. Everyone knew who Matt
So
Fraser was.
I honestly think for CrossFit South Africa, it's a missed opportunity not to have someone like Ruan as their ambassador. As their ambassador in terms of helping grow the affiliation base, helping get more people involved with CrossFit, helping getting more people to learn about CrossFit. For an example, you look at what the strongman guy did.
Yeah.
You know?
Now.
Yeah, Rayno now. Rayno now is massive now.
Yeah.
I see this guy on Checkers ads. He's everywhere. Yeah, Dricus du Plessis, same thing.
UFC fighter, got to the UFC.
Same thing, and now he's a great ambassador for the fighting community.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ruan. I feel like it's a missed opportunity not to put that guy in that position. Do you know what I mean? Not to use that guy to try help CrossFit in this country as an ambassador for the sport. I think people like that need so much support from the community.
Great.
I really think, I don't think I have any respect for CrossFit South Africa or whoever's at the top there, because that's a massive missed opportunity, in my opinion. You can hate me, love me, whatever, disagree, but if I had an athlete that's proudly South African,
Yeah.
and you've got affiliates in the country, and you're not doing anything to put this guy,
Great.
you know, well, make him our Rich Froning or our whoever it is.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a missed opportunity. Same thing with Jason Smith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really think going forward, we need to have ambassadors for the sport to try grow the sport. I mean, CrossFit's like, I've been doing this for a while, and this is still like a small, and it's getting smaller and smaller. The community is getting smaller and smaller. Elite athletes, the pool of elite athletes is getting smaller and smaller.
Okay, so
because yeah.
So I get it, the ambassador thing like that. And listen, I'm sure guys like Tomo at Rebel, their hands are tied with whatever CrossFit's told them to do. And I know, like Renegade Games, for example, this year you obviously had to get into your 1% in the open, things like that.
Yeah.
Are they doing the right thing, in your opinion? Again, this is just our opinion. Again, I know their hands are tied and there's certain things. And listen, I get it. It's a good look for when we have a Sarah Sigmund's daughter, Lucas Hoiberg, come out to South Africa and compete with athletes here. I'm going to tell my grandkids the day I die, I'm going to show them pictures of Lucas Hoiberg on the podium at the games and be like, Grandpa beat this guy, all right, at every workout. But, shame, no, Lucas Hoiberg absolutely thrashed me at that 333, but then again, anyone could have. But is it the right thing in saying 10 athletes from across the world who maybe can't make it, crack it in their region, come here and take an African spot? Because is that not going against completely what you just said? We're not promoting Africa if we're not sending Africans to the games. And I get it, their whole idea is participation. How many people participate in the open? Yeah. Then you get a spot. One spot is better than no spot. And also, as a South African guy...
if that one spot is not African...
There's no African. As a South African, proudly South African guy, for me, if I'm going to Renegade Games, for example, and I know, stupid example, Justin Medeiros is showing up because he sees this as his easy tickets to the games, so he's going to show up, and everyone knows, well, Justin's going to walk over everyone, no matter how good we are in Africa, because we're not at that level. Let's call it what it is, call a spade a spade. We're not at that level. Why would I want to go and spend the kind of money I need to for that weekend when I'm just going to go, well, yes, the experience and the competitor in me wants to go. Practically, and I'm not speaking, this is maybe not my side, I'm saying for someone coming into it, are they going to go, well, I'm not really going to make the games, but if I do a really good time at High Rocks, so I'm actually quite a decent runner, I'm going to Chicago, I'm going to wherever in the world,
champs,
world champs, I go to world champ, and you see where it's losing out like that. And again, I'm not saying it's Rebel's fault. I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. I get it. Their hands are tied, and it promotes their business. And like you said, it's a business after all. And you want these names to be there, and people want to compete against these names. But at the end of the day, is it fair to an African athlete?
No. I don't think it's fair. I don't think. Again, I think like. It's not fair, but that's why we need to bring stuff like this up, and we need to hold these people accountable and tell them how we feel and what sort of change we need. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like it's just not fair. It's just gone on for way too long now. Yeah. You know, something has to be done. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of whatever's happening with the Renegade Games, and I've just not. Yeah, I haven't been a fan for a very long time with most of the stuff that they do. Again, it's just my personal opinion. From the days when they still used to like record the whole thing on the cell phone and everything else. Again, in my opinion, with how I've seen, with how I've done some of the business things I've done in my life, you need big sponsors. Like I feel like CrossFit in South Africa, in this country, Tomo and whoever, we need big sponsors to help us. Because, but then again, it's hard for big sponsors to come in because no one is actually putting in the work to help the athletes. It's, you know, like no one is, how do I put this? Mini Cooper and all these other brands, right, and all these companies, they're sponsoring High Rocks in their events because, how do I put this? Because they know they're going to get the numbers back. Yeah. Tiger Brands is not going to sponsor Rebel whatever or any other comp because they're not going to get like their money back, their money back, you know, because again, I think more should be done from Rebel and CrossFit Africa, again going back to the athletes, you know. I feel like you could do more on social media, like for an example how I'll do things, I don't know, something like Jenna, for an example. I train with Jenna. Okay, I'd use someone like Jenna. Just do a small little documentary on Jenna. Then do another small little piece on a member from, I don't know, wherever, Pure Fitness. Yeah. Just keep that social media pay for, just get more and more like TikTok, like something on TikTok. You know what I mean? To promote the brand, to promote CrossFit, to promote the event. Because if you do that early on, you're going to get people paying tickets. People want to see someone like Jenna or Gilmarie or whatever walk on their hands and all these like fit chicks and whatnot. You know what I mean? It attracts numbers and you need numbers. And if you get numbers, you can get big sponsors and the sport can grow. Makes sense? I think the way they've just gone about it, like, I don't know, man. It's just, it's not cool. But then again, that's why we started with this. I started with this training times thing. You know, we did a documentary on Tiger Valley. Yeah. That documentary got so many views. It got people pumped.
Because people are hungry for content.
Yeah, and the documentary is like sitting on like 3,000-4,000 views right now. You know what I mean? Growing every day. You see, again, like, we need big sponsors and we need to highlight the athletes more. Because if we do that, we get media engagement and we get people interested. People right now are only interested in High Rocks because everyone is posting about the runs and the athletes. The ambassadors are also posting about their runs, etc., etc. That's why it's so big.
Yeah, let me ask you this then. Do you think it's because High Rocks is more accessible?
I think everyone keeps saying that. Yeah. I don't think so. Okay. I think it's because High Rocks knows how to make people feel.
Okay, so I'll give you an example, right?
On me,
Yeah.
I think they know how to make people feel. You know, the whole patch thing, the whole, again, goes back to what you were saying with the T-shirts.
Yeah.
You know, just that feeling, you know, that's, acknowledgement. That's what they have right. I don't think it's an accessibility thing, or CrossFit is inaccessible. I think CrossFit is accessible to everyone. Anyone can do CrossFit. That's not the issue. My issue is the media. Like, media is a very big tool right now, and no one in the CrossFit space is utilizing the media.
If I may, listen, I completely get exactly where you're at in terms of like that media exposure and stuff like that. Listen, I'll speak from personal experience. I mean, if anyone had to ask me what are some of the best experiences of my life in general, I'm telling you now, Renegade Games, both times, last year and this year,
You've been there twice.
one of the absolute biggest draws I've ever had in my life, just in terms of how much fun it was. And I mean, this year, the best thing, running out onto this floor, you hear people calling your name, you got an announcer calling your name and seeing your face up on the screen. Dude, it's
cool, right?
it's an experience, it's an event, and again, it goes back to that acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And for the rest of my life, I know I can go on YouTube and there's a video of me doing a workout, coming stone last in a workout, and I'm still going to tell my grandkids I beat Lucas Hoberg. I'm sticking to that. But again, it's
You're gonna die, man.
100%, believe it. But I agree with you. It's that exposure. And I get it. Rebel, at the end of the day, is an equipment company, and they supply equipment and stuff, and they also have their own mandates, and they have things that limit them in terms of this. And I think they're doing a phenomenal job in what they're trying to do, because no one else is stepping into that space to take over the semi-finals, to promote CrossFit the way they do. And they are probably at the forefront, maybe one of the only companies in this country to do it. If another bigger company maybe didn't step in to actually take it over, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get it. And I agree with you. Like, coming into, 2018, we know CrossFit have fired their media team and things changed and stuff. But I mean, I remember going back, and I still do. I've got all the Road to the Games downloaded.
Yeah.
Dude, if I can tell you how many times I've watched Fraser versus the World. Just things like that hype people up like that. And it doesn't have to be a long, complicated thing. I don't need to sit for an hour of my life watching an athlete on YouTube. You give me a 20-minute video of just what they do in a day. And what people do is, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to watch it, and I go, oh, okay, but this guy's eating this. Maybe I should start eating that. Maybe that's a smart idea. And, oh, he's training twice a day. Maybe it's if I want to get there. And you start creating that interest, because at the end of the day, and it's across all sports, everyone has their favorite sportsman, regardless if it's a team sport, if it's an individual sport. Messi versus Ronaldo. People have their, the Antoine Dupont, they watch rugby, Antoine Dupont and a Sio Kolisi and a Geordie Barrett, or whatever rugby player they love to follow, or your favorite tennis player, your favorite golfer, things like that, because they have that exposure. And I'm completely agreeing with you. We don't have that in this country, because athletes are now relying on exposing themselves to an audience. For example, I am posting on Instagram, I'm posting a story a day, I'm posting a picture and a reel every 2 days. I'm trying to expose myself as much as possible. But besides the people in my box, some people I compete against and my family, no one's seeing that. And to crack into that and to expose yourself to a wider community is so difficult. And these guys overseas, yes, they have media houses that do it for them, and they have exposure and stuff, and they're on comps and we watch them. I'm telling you now, like, any South African could be at that exact same level if we had the same exposure and the same opportunities they did, if not better. Because I'm telling you now, like, and I'm sure people back me, when a South African, I think we are genetic absolute freaks. You look at us across any sport in the world, when we actually decide to do it, we do it well. And I think just with that exposure, you could really grow it in this country to, I'm never going to say we'll be the same as rugby or football in this country, but you could grow it to quite substantial, to the point where athletes are recognized nationally.
You can. You can. I think there's lots of potential. I think the fact that Rebel is at the Sandton Convention Center next year is a big plus. It's a massive plus. I think it would be a massive missed opportunity if their media team doesn't capitalize on that. You know what I mean? On my side, I think we'll do our best to try cover teams, athletes, like road to, Rebel Renegade Games.
Bring some athletes that might not win it, but are going to feature.
100%.
And people want to follow.
Yes, I think that's the biggest win for Renegade Games next year.
Volunteer for episode 1.
biased. But I think it's a big win because it's Sandton Convention Center. It's a central,
It's a hub.
it's a hub.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can reach so many people there, bro. You know what I mean? And we can have so many people coming through those doors and just cheer and, cheer these athletes on and look at the sport and go, what the hell is this? Because that was my first interaction with CrossFit when I think it was ESPN. I was watching Rich Froning and I was like, what the hell is this? This guy's so jacked. He's running, heavy weights, swimming. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So you want people to have the same feeling when they walk in and watch and get inspired and hopefully sign up. You know what I mean? And that sign up, at whichever CrossFit gym it is, helps the community because that's money in through the gym.
Correct.
That helps that business owner, that affiliate owner, that just grows the sport, the sport in general. I think it's a big plus that it's happening at the Sandton Convention Center. I think that's a great location because I think I've competed the
Herd games. Back in the day.
herd game. Back
day,
in the days, I'm not that old.
Also, like,
herd games was
It's great exposure and it's going to get people through the door because, okay, you might walk into a CrossFit gym and maybe you don't want to be a Matt Fraser, you don't want to be a Rich Frank, you don't want to be a Ruan, you don't want to be a Gilmore, whoever it is, but you want to look like that.
Yes.
And that's it. And again, basic human needs. Everyone wants to look good.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, unless there's something really, really wrong with you.
and
Fundamentally.
all this CrossFitters
No. Dude,
look good. Gender.
I want to look like a CrossFit. I don't want to look like a high roxer. No offense to the high roxers. All right. But I've seen I'm dude.
Hey, there's some great looking high
100%. But dude, I'm this tall. I'm as wide as I am tall. All right. I can't remember the last time. Yeah. I'm a thick boy. I got cake.
Thick.
Yeah, that's it. Even the kids at school. So you got cake. I'm like, if you ever tell me that again, I'm gonna make sure you're expelled. But did you see? That's it. But that's the thing. And people see that and they go, I want to look like that. Dude, I've been stopped, I don't know how many times in the shops, at the garage and the guys make comments and they talk to you and stuff. And even when I was playing rugby, dude, when I started CrossFit, I had these guys coming to me and going, but it's going to make you smaller, it's going to do this, it's going to do that to you. And I'm like, dude, where? I'm heavier than I ever was when I played rugby. I'm in better shape than I ever was. I'm fitter than I ever was. Yeah. But you tell people that and people get in the door. And it just takes one person. You get a dad to come in because now he's sick and tired of his beer book or whatever, his belly.
Yeah.
And the next second it's a case of, I'm bringing my wife. And then my daughter's going to come. And my daughter's going to bring her boyfriend. And then the boyfriend's competitive. And then the boyfriend really gets into it. And he brings a friend. And that's how you grow.
That's
but
how
again,
you grow, yeah.
it starts with that exposure. Listen, I agree. Sandton Convention Center, absolutely great venue.
Big win. I think it's a big win. It's
Yeah.
a big win for the athletes as well that are going to be competing there.
Yeah.
They're going to have so many people in that arena just watching and cheering. I think next year will be the best Renegade Games. In my opinion, I can't wait because the production this year in terms of live stream was also amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was sick. So next year I can only hope for better things next year.
Did you watch Renegade Games this year?
Yeah, I watched. Yeah,
Okay, right.
I had to. Yeah,
Sorry, I wasn't watching that much. I was busy completely.
Well, I don't know. I hope I make it next year. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Just say you're gonna make it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, yeah.
Go be a role model, Bev.
I don't know. I'm just I'm enjoying. I love running. There's two things I enjoy more than CrossFit. Right? It's running and jiu-jitsu.
I thought you were gonna say beer. Okay.
No. I do love beer, but like I just want to enjoy my fitness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like CrossFit, I enjoy CrossFit, but I only started, crazy story, I only started doing CrossFit to help me for my fight.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like back in the day, I started at Urban Shack. Okay, I remember I was coming off a loss, and I found Gavin Townsend at the time. He was the owner of Urban Shack, and I was using CrossFit to train for my fights. Yeah. Then we did a South Park intervals, I remember. Then he's like, okay, cool. This is I was watching him train and he was doing bar muscle ups.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I want to do that. Then he taught me how to do bar muscle ups. Then there's a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was like, oh man, I want to do this. I want to do cleans. I want to do X. I want to do that. I want to do this. Then he told me to sign up for, at the time, herd games. That was my first ever CrossFit competition. I couldn't do double unders, I remember. And I was like, okay, cool, let me sign up. Then I signed up for herd games, intermediate. And we just got, like myself and my partner at the time, we got just thrashed. And I wanted to get better. I was like, I have to learn how to do double unders. I have to learn how to do handstand push-ups. Then that's where it started. And then eventually the fighting just disappeared.
Yeah.
Then it was just like CrossFit. But like my main passion is just like jiu-jitsu and running, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I like CrossFit. I like training, but I don't know. Yeah, like I'm also very average. So yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe I will, but also I wanna make it because I wanna make it.
Yeah.
I don't wanna make it because someone told me to make it, or there's some sort of expectation. My main goal right now is to help athletes. You know, honestly, my main goal is to help businesses. Some of the stuff that I do on the side, my main goal is to highlight the athletes and help the athletes and do my small little bit to grow the sport. You know what I mean? I think that's where my passion is right now going into next year. You know what I mean? Because I see how hard some of these guys train, and I'm just like, yo, no one knows about you.
Yeah.
You're not getting your worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you not have a modeling contract? How do you not have like a, you know, like...
I ask myself these questions. No, listen, I completely get it. And like, it's true. Yeah. I'm the complete opposite. Yeah. I think running's probably one of my biggest hates.
Well, you're doing high rocks.
I am doing high rocks. And shout out to Ricky Viva you. Thanks for all the running. All right. I'm crushing it at the moment. All right. PB my 5K time every time I go out there.
What's your 5K?
My best 5K?
Yeah.
12:20. No, fuck.
12 minutes.
No, edit this whole part out.
Yeah.
19:20, sorry. 19:20, 5K. Yeah. My life fell apart after that. Like, completely fell apart. 19:20. Yeah, this is the guy who also, again, came last in 333 at Renegade Games, yeah? But listen, let me tell you a story, though. Renegade Games, I'm running out there. I'm holding, like, a 4-minute something. I've never run that quick in my entire life. Like, I PB'd, I looked at Strava, I PB'd.
What is the workout?
It was a 3K run.
3K run?
300 double unders. Yeah, and then 3,000 meter run.
It's a games workout.
Dude, I PB'd everything in my running that day. Like, I held like a 4:20 or something on the run. Like, I was flying. I was like, I've never run this quick in my entire life. And these dudes are just pulling away. Like, every time I look up, these are pulling away. I'm just like, you know what? Actually, screw these guys. All right, I can deadlift more than that. That's the bullshit I was telling myself in my head. But no, like, I 100% I get it. Like, you got into it because of fighting. I got into CrossFit because I was playing rugby.
Yeah.
I was playing rugby. I was playing Varsity Shield, and my brother invited me one day and was like, dude, I could beat you at a workout, I guarantee it.
Was this Pure Fitness?
No, this was before Pure Fitness. This was a little box called Sebenza Fit. It was in Sebenza in Edenville. Dude, some dodgy little warehouse. Listen, some of the most fun I've ever had. My brother gets hold of me one day and he's like, dude, I bet I can beat you in a workout. I'm like, I'm playing Varsity Shield, I play scrum off.
Yeah.
I am stupid fit, like, for a rugby player at the time.
Yeah.
I thought I was just, I'm like, dude, there's no ways. We show up, there's pull-ups, there's cleans, and I can't remember, there was something else. I think burpee over bar, something in the workout. Dude, my brother absolutely
You're probably doing strict pull-ups.
Dude, believe it. Yeah. I'm like, strict pull-ups. I'm like, I don't do that fake pull-up business. Those aren't real, whatever. Yeah. I'm trying to do cleans. Every clean is basically a deadlift into an arm curl. That's it. And my brother thrashes me. And my brother's younger than me. And I'm like irate. I am frothing. I do like, and I was like, all right, I'm coming back tomorrow. We're going to do another workout. My brother beats me again. And anyone that knows my brother's not the athlete of the family. And my brother beats me, and eventually I catch him on one workout. I'm like, all right, dude, forget about rugby. I'm going all in on this because never again will I like lead. It's become my passion,
yes, yeah.
you know, sort of thing. And it stemmed from that. But I get it, and that's where it starts for most people. Most people get into this not because I watch TV or I go and I see, CrossFit, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's, I want to get into it for this. I want to look good naked. I want to train with my wife or my husband. I want to get better at this sport or get better at that, or I just want to be healthy and be able to get off the couch one day and stuff. And I think, again, that creates that passion and that love for it. And I think that's where people have lost it, because it's either I'm going there to be this absolute super athlete, or I'm not going, sort of. And I think we need to find that, create that passion, create that love again for the sport, and let it grow organically. Let it grow. It's like giving a little kid their first soccer ball. Give them a soccer ball and let them grow and let them develop and create a passion for themselves for that sport. And the same thing with CrossFit. Come into the gym, don't do it. And I've seen this with a lot of the youngsters getting into the sport. Guys are like 14, 15, 16. What do you do? No, I do CrossFit. Okay, but what else? No, I do CrossFit. I'm like, no, that's not what you should be doing. Go play team sports. Go do swimming. Go do athletics. Go play rugby. Go play cricket. Go play netball. Go do these other things. Expose yourself and use this as a way to go, okay, I want to get better at X, Y, Z through CrossFit, and then develop the love for CrossFit because of it. And then let that inner competitor come out to go, all right, now I'm going to compete in CrossFit and something like that. Grow that base first, and then really go for it as a CrossFitter once you have the base and you're 100% sure. Because I'm telling you now, dude, a 14, 15-year-old going, I want to go to the CrossFit Games one day. More than likely, you're probably going to burn out or something. Dude, and you're not going to learn the skills. I'm telling you now, like, I'm a teacher.
I'd say that kid, what's his name? James. He's a good, I think he does water polo, he does...
That's exactly it, Expose yourself to those sports. I mean, dude, I'm a teacher. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it for years. The kids who don't do sports don't have the same skills leaving school that the kids who do sports. And again, we're a sport. Expose yourself to those sports, then expose yourself to CrossFit and build the love for CrossFit through that. Use your sporting background. Like when I was in school, again, I played rugby, I did athletics, I was a sprinter. Give me a sprinting workout in terms of running, 100%. Don't give me a long distance run. I've never done it, it's never been a thing for me. My school didn't have swimming. Well, we had swimming, but it was, our school didn't even have a pool. We used to have to, Eden Glen. No, Eden Glen. Oh, dude, listen.
I'm trying to think. Eden Glen.
If you're born in Edenvale, you stay in Edenvale.
I played Eden Glen in rugby.
You probably lost.
No, we didn't.
No, listen, we were good. We were good when I was there. This is the back in the day, like black and white TVs and stuff still. I'm old as shit, bro. But I'm a huge believer in that. Like, build that love. And everyone's got a story of how they went into the gym for the first time. Everyone's got the story of they saw it, they walked past, they decided to go in because they wanted to look better, they wanted to be healthier, they wanted to compete against someone. They wanted to get better at something. And that's where it comes from. And I think people need to go back to that and that's where it stems from, and get that back and build that up again.
What drives you right now?
Getting better every single day. I know if I go into the gym and I'm 1% better than I was the man I was yesterday, by the end of the year I'm 365% better.
Shit.
Every single day, find a way to be better, no matter what it is. Be better than you were yesterday. That's what drives me.
Same.
Yeah, and I need more renegade game tattoos.
Where's your?
I got this one on my leg.
Oh, 135.
Yeah. Also, I'm sick and tired of people asking me if that's my max deadlift. If 135 was my max deadlift.
Yeah, I thought that was your max, like something, like snatch or something.
No. So, last year's number, this year's number. That was always the goal. Like going into this, when I really got into CrossFit, it was always, qualify for a semi-final or a sanctional or regionals back in the day. And then as soon as I got it, I was like, all right, you put that in. And the reason it's on my leg is so when I'm huffing up, like when I'm absolutely dying in a workout and you look down to breathe, I look down, I see that number, I'm like, this is what it takes to get back there.
This is why I doubt I'll make it, because there's like 10 individuals from wherever coming in. Then there's like how many spots?
I think it's 28. 28, yeah. 28 local and then 10 international.
10 international.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Bev.
Where does that put me?
Come on, Bev. I've seen you without your shirt. We need you there. People don't want to see me without my shirt on.
No,
There's too much hair going
I'm doing
on.
high rocks now.
Oh.
The goals world champs.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm only doing high rocks for the month.
For a month?
Yeah, for just this month.
Okay.
I think this is my last high rocks.
I'm doing high rocks with Ruan at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Do you think I've trained for it?
You guys are not training?
No, we're showing up and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like no disrespect to high rocks. Yeah, but this training, I'm already like bored.
No, I can imagine.
I'm just like,
can you imagine watching the poor thing? I feel sorry for the people who go and watch the thing.
Yeah, like how do I put this? Like it's a hard sport. Like it's a hard sport to spectate.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anyone wants to watch Hunter McIntyre do the same race in 1 year for the 10th time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's what makes CrossFit so unique. You know, watching Rogue this weekend, there's just so many.
What a spectacle.
Yeah, I think my favorite workout was that sprint with a sandbag, assault bike.
Dude, you know what I loved is there was no max lift. They tested strength across the board in so many other ways.
There was, they had like back squat,
there was back squats,
dumbbell
there was
snatch.
deadlifts, there was heavy bags.
Yeah.
Dude, and that to me was so, that was cool. And I know Rich Foley also says that if you have a certain comp with only X amount of workouts, never program a max lift. And I get it, max lift, it's the fancy thing, it's what everybody wants to watch. But dude, the way Rogue did it and just testing strength on a broad basis, not just how much can you snatch, how much can you clean and jerk, but can you actually deadlift a 226 kg bar at the end of a workout? Can you back squat 140 kgs, I think it was 40 times?
Yes.
Dude, that is cool.
But that's what makes CrossFit like interesting, right? I think, but that's why I like training for High Rocks now. I'm just like, I'm not.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I'm not bashing High Rocks,
No,
but
I will.
okay, cool. But like, the running it's a lot of running. I mean, I love running, but like after the 30-minute mark, I'm just like,
No.
this is getting like boring now. This is just like how long, like how much more this is why I'll always do High Rocks like doubles.
Yeah,
I'll never do the whole thing on my own. Like,
No,
fuck
I'm
no,
sorry.
bro. I did the whole thing on my own last year.
You hate yourself.
I was like, I'm not doing this again. Like, I'm not. But I think the sled was 250.
Okay.
250. That was, and no training, zero training. Well, I was running, but like, I was just not prepared for the whole thing. But I still beat some of the ambassadors. Yeah. But yeah, listen, this has been a great chat. Again, big thanks to Dorian and the guys here at Joburg Style Coffee. This place again is amazing. Great paintings. Liam, just thank you. Great paintings, great place.
Great coffee.
I think I'm gonna have another one before I leave. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, guys, that's been awesome. Again, great venue.
Yeah.
But like we said even in the intro video, I mean, if there's things the community wants to discuss, if guys drop us a DM, go on Training Times' Instagram, my Instagram, Bev's Instagram, whatever, drop us a message, whatever it is. If you guys are interested in a topic and you guys want to know things, we've got a whole bunch of topics that people have already sent us, things that we want to discuss. Beginners getting into competitions, things like that, how to get from beginner to intermediate to RX, things like that, small things that you guys want to discuss. If there's things that you guys, we've got guests coming on, we definitely want to organize guests and interview and really, again, like we said, expose people to, the community and things like that. Let us know if you really feel like in your heart of hearts, this person needs the exposure, this person really works hard. Let us know. We'd love to have people on and get this to the community, because like I said, this is for the community at the end of the day, and we want to make it as accessible and with as much exposure to everyone in our community and really just grow this, from strength to strength.
How many people sent you stuff?
I actually had like 3 or 4 people. Four people sent me stuff, and then I had quite a few athletes actually saying like, good luck, it looks really cool. I'm glad that someone's actually doing something like this in our space. And that was actually quite
I've had none.
It's because he does High Rocks.
Okay, cool. That's it. Okay. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next episode.
Cool.
Jen, just. Deet. Thanks, Jen. Producer Jen.
Producer Jet.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, my right leg went.